Hello, everybody, and welcome to day 24 of my Forex trading journey. I hope each and every one of you are having an amazing day so far. And as we can see, we're just kind of looking at an initial assessment of the market today. We have nothing on oil so far. We have nothing on gold versus euro so far. Nothing on silver versus USD so far. Nothing on gold versus USD so far. And then as far as platinum, we are going to need to change this account because we have indeed blown it. So here's what we're going to do. So we can move on to phase 5 for platinum. We're going to open an account by left-clicking on File, left-clicking on Open an Account. I'm going to choose the Hugo's Way Demo 3 option right here. I'm going to choose New Demo Account. I'm going to put 100 right there. And then I'm going to get the account created, click on finish, and here we go. So we've got our new account right here, ready to go. The old one is deleted out of the way, and we don't need to worry about that account anymore. So I am going to change up the strategy here just a little bit. I am going to place this on the 15-minute time frame this time, and what I'm also going to do is I'm going to leave it at 15 pips for right now, but just change it to a higher time frame. And we're still going to follow the same strategy that we did, just on a higher time frame, and definitely see where the results come from on this pair. But as we can take a look right now, we don't necessarily have an opportunity to trade just yet. So I will be waiting for that opportunity, and then we will come back to the chart to get that done. So until then, I'll scan the markets. We'll see what Friday holds for us, and I'll be right back. Hello, everybody. We are back, and not a moment too soon, as we've got a sell opportunity for gold versus euro. We were able to go ahead and get ourselves into this gold versus euro trade. As we could see, just to point out exactly why this candle show up, we could always definitely take a look. I do understand that we were at a buy trend at one point in time right here. I do see that there is a resistance line, just kind of if I lined up everything right up to about here. And I also do see another smaller resistance line right over here as well that price has failed to break. But more importantly, we take a look at the trend. And for a while, if I grab my pen right here, I do notice that we had a bullish trend for a while, price creating higher highs, price creating higher lows. Then price kind of stalled just for a little bit. And as we could see now, price has gone ahead and created this lower low compared to this low right here, breaking the structure of it just going sideways, breaking this particular support right over here. Now we're seeing that it's creating a bit of a lower high in this particular case. The sell arrow has moved over to the next candle. So what we will go ahead and do is we'll wait for this trade to play out again. What we're doing is we're learning each and every time that we're trading. Now, gold versus euro was the only pair that I was able to see was available. U.S. oil, silver versus the United States dollar, platinum, and gold versus the United States dollar is not ready yet at this particular time, but that is a-okay. That's where we go ahead and we just wait for the trade specifically to play out. Now, as we allow this trade to play out, I do want to talk about the next thing, or I'm sorry, not next thing, but the next topic I want to discuss from one of my favorite books, You Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. I mentioned his book on the journey for the past couple of days already, even going back to the end of last week. And the topic I want to talk about is called the most powerful weapon that you can have. Now, let me explain. So what you want to do is we all have what's called a governor in our brain. Now, the governor in our brain is essentially the thing or the concept of we get to a particular point where we're either succeeding or we're doing our thing, And what our brain tells us to do, what our governor in our head tells us to do is say, okay, this is all fine and dandy. We are indeed making progress now. Let's go ahead and stop this, right? Let's go ahead and stop this so that we can, stay comfortable at where we are. What our governor doesn't want us to do is it doesn't want us to push past our stopping point. In our brain, in our body, in our souls, what we have been conditioned to do is we have been conditioned to go to a certain point, and that's what's considered our limitation. The governor in our brain says, okay, you've reached that particular point. You need to stop, no holds barred. That's it. Now, what our job is to do is to push past that particular normal stopping point and go just a little bit further than that each day. And so what that means in the grand scheme of things for us is now for how this applies to trading, it doesn't necessarily apply in the concept of, we're not going to stop our plan or, if we have to change things, we need to change things. That's not necessarily what the governor in our brain is for. It's mostly the matter of, okay, we've gotten to a certain point. Do we really need to keep going? We've gotten to a certain point within our journey. Do we really need to keep going on this particular journey? And the answer is always going to be yes. There's always going to be trades to take. There's always going to be stuff to do. In fact, I'll remind everybody that at the beginning of next week, because again, this is Friday, right? So, Monday is going to be, I believe, the banking holiday, Columbus Day. So I believe we are not. In fact, I'm confident we are not trading on that particular day. In fact, we're going to go ahead and prove this right now by going to Forex Factory. Let's go ahead and let's go to Forex Factory. I can take a look at gold in just a minute now, especially since I have 7 minutes before that candle closes. Now, if I go all the way to October 10th, we can see that we indeed have a bank holiday. So for us with a bank holiday, I don't like trading on bank holidays. That's just something where, it's very unpredictable. I'm not going to get a good trend. There may not be great volume out in the market. So I am not going to trade on that particular day. So that doesn't mean you may not have content. I could always whip up something, or I could think of something if I wanted to. But more to the point, when we start up our trading week again on Tuesday, the 11th, what's going to happen is I'm going to have a new pair out there that we are going to test. And so the governor in our brain would say, wow, Jordan, you're already testing 5 pairs. Do you really need to go ahead and test 6 pairs? And the answer is yes. If we are going to grow together, if we are going to really take advantage of the $6 trillion a day industry, we have to know how to diversify and keep growing. 5 pairs can't be the end all be all for us. We have to go ahead and each week we have to push past the fact that, okay, 1 week it was gold, then the next week it was just gold and silver, then the next week it was gold, silver, and platinum, then the next week it was gold, silver, platinum, and gold versus euro, then the next week it was gold, silver, platinum, gold versus euro, and oil. Now we have to go ahead and add a 6th pair. What's that 6th pair going to be? Most likely it may be a crypto. I am not 100% sure on that. Might be the other oil that's in the market, the UK oil. However, we will have a more concrete decision when we get to that on Tuesday. The point being is that we aren't going to stop with just 5 pairs. We're not going to stop with just 6 pairs. We are going to go on this journey understanding that there are a lot of pairs to cover in the market. There are a lot of opportunities that we can go ahead and take. So in essence, there can't be a stopping point for us. We have to keep going. We have to keep pushing past our limits. We need to get to the point where we are so tired and in pain. Well, not in the sense of, physical pain and tiredness, right? Mental, it's like, whoa, all this stuff right here, all these pairs, all this terminology, all these concepts, my brain is tired. I don't know if I can keep going. No. Yes, you do want to make sure you're doing the Kaizen principle, right? There's always a balance to these sort of things. We want to make sure that we are doing our best to make sure that we are taking this journey one step at a time. But at the same time, we also want to make sure that we have the understanding where we are going ahead and we are still moving forward and we are wanting to just keep going just a little bit further to increase our thoughts a little bit further, to increase our capabilities a little bit further, to increase our actions a little bit further, so we can increase our results a little bit further. So we just want to push just beyond that 5 to 10%. If you can give me an extra 100, so if 100% is our normal day, if you will, if 100% is our normal but what's the word I'm looking for? 100% is our normal operating state within the day. Well, what we want to do is we want to at least get to about 105%, at least 105% a day. Do better than you did the last day. Increase your limitation barrier, if you will, by just a little bit each day. And that is going to help you push towards the person that you want to become. So in this situation, yes, it's important for me to keep learning a new pair each day. It's important for me to keep learning something each day. It's important for me to keep taking trades each day. It's important that some of these strategies either work, or if some don't, that's also perfect. That means that there's still more for me to learn. There's still for me to grow as a trader, and I can go ahead and I can bring those conversations up to the table. This gradual ramp up will help prevent fatigue, right? We're not going to go from 100 to 200%. That's impossible. Prevent injury and allow your body and mind to slowly adapt to your new workload, right? Because if we're, we didn't do all 5 pairs at once, because that would have been absolutely overwhelming. What we did, our plan was that we started with day 1 with just gold. Then in the next week we got a new particular pair, which was silver. Then the third week we got a new particular pair, which was platinum. Then the fourth week we got gold versus euro as a pair. And then the fifth week we're doing US oil. And in the 6th week we'll be doing a new pair. And that is the gradual ramp up concept that I want everyone to understand, is that you want to go ahead and you want to force yourself to look at something new and to add that to your regimen each and every day. And if not every day, at least weekly, to help you grow as a trader. It also resets your baseline, which is important because you're about to increase your workload another 5 to 10% the following week and the week after that, right? We had our baseline the first week, the first day was just gold. That's all we were focused on trading, was just gold. Then we increased the baseline to week 2, where it's like where we were able to trade on 2 pairs. We had the capability, we had the ability to trade on 2 pairs. Then the 3rd week we moved forward and we took 3 pairs. Then the 4th week we were able to trade 4 pairs. The 5th week now, where we're at this particular point in time, is 5 pairs. And while that is very excellent, we have the ability to go ahead and be able to take a look at everything in 5 pairs and be able to increase that baseline for us. We know that in order to move forward, we have to go ahead and we have to keep going with taking these particular trades. Let me get into another sell trade right here. So, I mean, that is what we want to go ahead and, that is our objective. And that's what we want to accomplish, is the fact that we understand that the idea of learning each and every new pair each and every week, as I go ahead and as I go through my cycle. Wow, some people just dropped off a cliff, huh? Okay, so we have this candle right here, platinum, that is at a buy hour situation. So that's about to close in 15 minutes. So we'll take a look at that. And we're still on gold versus euro, but in about 15 minutes, we're going to take a look at, oh, wait, that's silver. We still got platinum right here, but silver is falling off a cliff. Okay. And gold just decided to fall off a cliff too. All right. And we've got gold versus euro doing that. So we got a few things in the mix right here, so to speak, and we're just kind of taking things one step at a time right here. We could see that right now So the gold versus euro, we've got a buy arrow. I'm sorry, the sell arrow has moved over to the next candle. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to look into that once the candle closes in about 13.5 minutes. Let's see, where's platinum? Platinum is right here. Still has the buy arrow. We're still waiting for about 13 minutes until that closes. Oil is not doing anything, so we're not going to worry about oil for right now. So again, all of this right here might be a little bit overwhelming to those that are just looking at this. If this is what you would consider your day one, you're going to the latest video. Yes, this is absolutely overwhelming because what you have not done yet, and I don't blame you. Everyone wants to go to the latest video, so I completely understand that, and that's absolutely perfect. However, what you're going to understand by doing that is the fact that you're seeing me go through 5 pairs, and it might be a little bit overwhelming to the untrained eye, but what happened was we gradually built the experience to the point where I am able to take a look at all 5 pairs because I've been able to train my eye first on concentrating on 1 pair, then concentrating my eyes on 2 pairs, then concentrating my eyes on 3, then 4, then 5. So it's all about having that gradual ramp up of your skills to go ahead and be able to tackle and trade multiple pairs at the same time. There is so much pain and suffering involved in physical, mental challenges. That's the best training to take command of your inner dialogue and the newfound mental strength and confidence you gain by continuing to push yourself physically, mentally, will carry over to other aspects in your life. Think about it like this. By us being able to gradually build up our confidence to know we can trade, and that platinum and that buyer with platinum disappears, so we're not going to worry about that anymore. But for coming back now to, and gold versus euro is still doing its thing, but coming back now to what we want to go ahead and do with what we're doing right here. It's a matter of, we're not looking to master all this right now. Our objective is mainly to go ahead and just focus on one trade at a time, one pair at a time. That was our baseline. That was our mantra, Kaizen. And by mastering it in that way, by being able to overcome and accept the challenges of taking trades on 1 pair, then overcoming the challenges of looking at 2 pairs, then 3, 4, 5, and then next week will be 6. We then have the ability to increase our mental capability, our mental capacity to move forward and look at multiple opportunities in the market. And that's the objective of looking at all these pairs, is to look for more opportunities that we can use to gradually increase our account balance. And again, going back to when we had talked about unshakable, it also, in the grand scheme of things, helps us with our diversification as well. Life is one big mind game. The only person you are playing against is yourself. Stick with this process, and soon what you thought was impossible will be something that you do, pardon my French, but you'll be able to do this every fucking day of your life. Every day of your life. We will be able to be able to do this day after day. Again, my ambition is to do this into, okay, so that buy hour disappeared, sell hour disappeared, I'm sorry. So we're going to go ahead and just take some of these buy trades to get us back into margin. But that's the point, right? Every day that we win, or every trade that we win, every trade that we lose, we are able to learn something completely different in the market that allows us to go ahead and move forward in the right direction. And so what we're only doing is we are growing our capabilities as traders and allowing ourselves to be able to move forward and push past the initial limits that we have. So that trade, we ended up taking a loss on that. Perfectly okay. All part of the plan. And so now we'll go ahead and we'll wait for that next trading opportunity, which once we have it, we'll be right back. All right, everybody, we are back at it. And so we do have a buy opportunity for oil. Gold, I missed that opportunity right there. So that is on me, but that is okay. We don't have to be perfect. We're not going to get every opportunity that we see, but the ones that we can get, we are certainly going to go ahead and take advantage of. So right now, we are trading on oil at the moment. And again, our objective for this particular trade is if we are able to get 30 pips of profit on it, that will be our safe bet to go ahead and close out that trade and walk away with a victory. So we're allowing that trade to play out right now as we speak. And so, again, understanding, just coming back to, the most powerful weapon, if we really want to think about it, it is our mind, it is our body, and it is our soul, the holy trinity, if you will, not to get too new age, but if we think about it, our mind can control and dictate what everything else does. And so, if we train our minds, if we allow ourselves to stretch our mind out and be able to just take a look at everything and be able to uncomfortably go into the experience knowing that we want to go ahead and push ourselves a little bit more each day, a little bit more each week, then our mind will be stretched to the point where it's like, oh, I can go ahead and I can do this. The limitations that I had self perceived I had, or my perception of myself to where I thought I had these limitations, I actually didn't. Now being able to gain the experience to try those things that I pushed out my limitations. And of course, we're going to go ahead and see that concept illustrated a lot more as we move forward with that within the coming days to coming weeks. But do know that the mind is indeed the most powerful weapon that you can have. So, with that being said, we are going to go ahead and we are going to monitor how oil is doing. And of course, if there are any other opportunities, we'll also go ahead and take advantage of it as well. So, in the meantime, I'll be monitoring this trade and I'll be right back. Hello, everybody. So I just want to go ahead and give a update on what we've done so far. So oil, we ultimately took that trade. We did close a trade, and I'll show everybody the account history. We did close that trade with about 31 pips in profit. So we were able to make a nice victory on oil. So we took, a loss on gold versus euro. We took a win on oil. So, we're 1 for 1. And again, it's not necessarily about the size of the wins or, the fact that we are 1-1, but we're keeping everything maintained and we're moving forward in the right direction as we just take a look at some of these trades right here. Now, one of the things that I do want everyone to know is because today is Friday, there is some news out there that always comes on the first Friday called the NFP, or the non-farm payroll news, that can give the markets a little bit of a helter-skelter, if you will. So some of the markets already made their moves, and we're really just waiting for the opportunities to come ahead, to go ahead and jump in. So we're doing that for gold. We're waiting on that, waiting for an opportunity on platinum, waiting for an opportunity on silver, waiting on an opportunity for gold versus euro, and we're waiting on an opportunity for oil as well. So with that being said, if I do get a particular update on a move, I'll make sure to go ahead and show that to everybody. And in the meantime, stay tuned for updates. All right, everybody. So we do have a sell trade coming in for gold. So I am going to go ahead and take that. We could definitely see that there has been a significant downtrend even before we took that trade. As we could see, we've been getting our lower highs being created. We have gotten our lower lows being created. We're also at a resistance point right here. Just taking a look, our resistance would be right at this particular line right here. So I could definitely see why that sell arrow was called out. So I'm going to go ahead and allow this particular trade to play out until the close of our trading day. Now, normally I don't do this. Normally I do not trade at 9:45 a.m. So normally I would just go ahead and close for the day, but because that sell arrow just went ahead and pointed, I don't mind getting into this trade, seeing what I could grab from it or the opportunity that can come from it, and allowing that particular trade to play out. Other than that, we don't have anything else. Oh, we do have a sell arrow coming in for gold versus euro. However, with that being said, because it just came in, that just came into on this candle right here, I don't want to take it since 10 o'clock wouldn't even be my closing of the day. So I will not be taking a trade on gold versus euro, but we'll stay here. We'll stay tight for gold versus the US dollar. And so just wrapping up our week as we take these last 13 minutes together and allow this particular trade to play out. Some of the things that I definitely want to go ahead and talk about is the fact that this has been our fifth trading week together. This would be about day 24. About a month has passed since we started this journey, and we've learned a lot of things along the way. And I'm very proud, very excited for what is to come. Of course, I will be having a few different pieces of content that are going to be popping up during the weekend, especially with getting my brain together and just jotting down some ideas. I don't know how that content is going to become available. I don't know when. However, those are ideas. I do have the what and why, and some amazing ideas that I would be able to put together and create at some point. And I'm very much looking forward to getting that spread over to you guys. So do know that. Know that the next trading day we are going to do would be on Tuesday. Again, there's going to be a U.S. bank holiday, and I normally don't like trading on those days on Monday, October 10th. So Tuesday, October 11th would be the first trading day of our next week. And of course, we're going to have a new pair that we're going to go ahead and use. So you're going to see me once again putting on a terminal platform so I can go ahead and show you guys what we're about to trade. So very exciting news on that front. Then, of course, we're going to work on actually getting our real account set up. As far as when that is going to take place, I don't know, but I know that the what and why for me is to get my real account created so that we can start to do this stuff live instead of just seeing me trade on a demo account, as that would be the main point, right? It's fine. It's all good and dandy to trade on a demo account, but until we trade on a real account, then, there's not a whole lot of value that I can give to you guys rather than just playing with virtual money. So we're going to be looking forward to that. Of course, I've got a few, and I think I've mentioned this before, a few mastermind interviews are indeed scheduled for from this week leading up into the next week. So I'm looking forward to getting that content out to you guys. Again, when that's going to take place, I don't know, but at least you know what to expect and why to expect it. It's to hear from all these different perspectives, whether it be from a podcaster or whether it be from a musician or whether it be from someone outside of my particular industry. It's important to gather that information because in turn, I can still use that wisdom even if they're not in my industry and use it to commingle with what we are doing right over here. So with that being said, very much we are looking forward to the close of the trading week within the next 10 minutes. And then other than that, of course, if you guys have any questions whatsoever, we'll go ahead and we'll put the communication channels as we always do. You can always ask me any questions on my YouTube channel. Any questions, make sure to drop a comment down below so we can get that answered for you. Otherwise, you can also go into my other social media channels, which would be Facebook, Jordan Rosario, Instagram, which would be Jordan Rosario. Right. Make sure that's not capitalized, Jordan Rosario 777, or Twitter, which would be WC __ Empro Zario. So make sure we get all those questions over to those particular channels. If you indeed have any questions that you would like me to go ahead and take a look at. And then other than that, yeah, this is, we've been talking a lot about some really great things that are coming up. And of course, some homework for everybody. I hope each and every one of you are indeed practicing on your demo accounts, at least making sure you're taking some trades. And again, finding those confirmations of why you got into this particular trade, and then also keeping a trading log, if you will. What's so great about having this particular channel and recording my days is that this to me is like a trading journal for me, where I can go back, review, reflect on the trades that I've taken, how did it work out, what were some of the reasons that it didn't work out, and be able to go ahead and still keep moving forward in the right direction. And of course, making sure that you do indeed have your trading plan in place. I do believe that's also very important as you move forward, to make sure that you have your trading plan in place, because that is only going to help you in terms of making sure that you have something consistent and something sustainable that you can go ahead and be able to use. Again, my trading plan involves trend, it involves risk management, it involves when I enter, when I get out. There are several different strategies that I use to help me with that plan. And of course, we went through all the different phases. So phase one didn't work out. Phase two, we're using that on 4 out of the 5 pairs. And platinum, we're on phase 5 of the strategy, because phase one, phase two, phase three, and phase four did not work out. And that's the beauty of being able to do this for the month, is that from where we had started on this journey, day one, I feel that there has been a lot more that we have learned since we took this particular journey together. I have gained knowledge that I'm able to pass and spread out, and it's absolutely beautiful. And of course, my 2 books that I will highly recommend to people that I've covered so much in our trading journey so far: Unshakable by Tony Robbins and Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. Those are 2 you must go to the bookstore or go to the Amazon store, look them up, grab them, buy them, read them, and be more encapsulated, or that's not the right word I'm looking for. That's me going through my can't even speak today, thesaurus, but be more able to grow in knowledge with those particular books. I do feel they were super important for me as I started this training journey. That was about a year ago that I picked these books up, and so far I still retain the knowledge that I have, and I'm looking to pass that over to you guys. So those 2 books right there, very, very, very important. And then other than that, take this weekend and relax, reframe, review, do a retrospective, but certainly wherever you are in this journey, reflect, but don't beat yourself up. Don't get into your head saying that you're not moving fast enough, because I have been there myself as well, and I know that is very, very, very discouraging. That's one of the number one killers of those who don't participate in the Forex market anymore. Understand that your journey is your journey. Understand that this is definitely not a sprint, that this is indeed a marathon, and we are going through this particular journey day by day, step by step, brick by brick, trade by trade. As long as you can remember the principle of Kaizen as we go through this particular journey, you're going to do absolutely amazing at the end of it all, when you see what I like to call the light at the end of the tunnel. And then other than that, again, for me, this has been just an absolutely amazing time, just recording my trades, just being able to pass what I can to you guys. And, as we move forward and as we start to grow and experiment and test out all these different things, know that there's more content coming to the channel. I really do believe that Forex trading is going to be our main component to everything, but I also want to expand and help you guys grow in other ways that I do see fit. Now, with that being said, Forex trading to me is the only particular avenue that I want to then expand to different channels, because again, we need to come back to the principle of money that we can't afford to lose. And I'd rather that money that you can't afford to lose, I'd rather go ahead and have you guys first take that money into the Forex market and grow that account. Then you can use the profits then to reinvest into other different functions. That is the main purpose of what we're doing here. It's the main purpose of why Forex trading was going to be the priority in terms of what I cover specifically on my channel. There may be other awesome things that we cover as well, awesome other opportunities that we get into, but primarily, first and foremost, Forex trading is going to be it. Because again, what we're doing right here is I want those who are viewing my videos right now, right at this very moment, to be able to achieve that financial success that you absolutely desire with investing without the complexity. And Forex trading, it can be daunting, especially if you're doing it out on your own. Trust me, I've been in this industry for about a year and 11 months, and there are still things that confuse the heck out of me. But as I'm learning, I've now decided that the knowledge that I can help you guys grow as well. And if we can go ahead and if we can grow together just a little bit each time, and whether we want to acknowledge it as, a blown account as a failure or a setback, or a losing trade as a failure as a setback, or a winning trade growth in our account as a positive experience, we have to understand that we have to frame all the experience that we've gathered so far, and it is going to allow us to move forward in the right direction. And I think that's very important, especially as, we continue to see what's going on, see how we can improve, see the phases of our strategy begin to evolve and grow. And by the time I'm done with my channel, which will be again when I turn 200 plus years old, I definitely still have not given up on that part right there. I'm going to do this for a very, very, very long time. I talk a good game, and we need to, of course, show that I'm doing it. But I'm very much looking forward to me continuing to do this, and especially into 2222, which would be about 200 plus years from now, right? Anyway, no, this has been absolutely incredible, just to see how things have gone so far, and again, this is just the begin, and to recap, this is the beginning of the beginning of the beginning. I learned that expression from a very wise man. The beginning of the beginning of the beginning. We're only about a month into this journey. Imagine what is going to, let me paint the vision for you. Imagine what we're going to keep uncovering, what we're about to keep learning as we move forward. I'm pretty sure by when all this content comes in, I've already expanded your mind at least a little bit. That's the objective, right? To expand your mind just a little bit, just to see all these crazy concepts that we're able to talk about so freely without the judgment of others. Not that I care, any critics of mine, there's a difference between positive criticism, positive feedback that I take, and then there's negative feedback, negative criticism. I can definitely tell the difference between the two. Positive criticism, positive feedback, I welcome. All that negative stuff, again, for me to pardon my French, but fuck them, right? I mean, that's the mentality. You can't let the negative stuff come into your circle, nor should you allow it to ever come into your circle like that. So that's our trading day. We're gonna close that sell. We got a few cents on that trade. I'm pretty much happy. And that's the end of our trading week, ladies and gentlemen. This has been an absolutely amazing trading week, absolutely amazing day 24. And I'm very much looking forward to seeing you guys on Tuesday when we cover day 25 of my Forex trading journey. In the meantime, have a super amazing favored weekend. And as always, happy trading.